Alright everyone, in the last video what we did was we set up the bat and the ghost such that they would be able to take damage from the lightning. And we play tested the bat. And right now the game is set to bat. So a bat should appear in a moment. It does. Okay, I'm just going to stop it. Now, as I say, we also changed the ghost, but we didn't playtest it. So we have to do what's right, and we have to reset the game so that the ghost is going to be the thing that comes on. So how do we do that? Well, you go to level, and you just go back to that thing that we changed earlier to bat. So here we have it, start foe. And start foe says set current enemy to bat. And so to change it, you just change it to ghost. So now when I hit the green flag, it'll be the ghost that appears. Now later we'll get the game itself to move through, swap out the ghost from the bat, and so on. But for now we just have to do it by hand. Now as you can see at this point, the ghost isn't hurting me, and I'm not hurting the ghost. And there's a reason for that, which I'm going to explain. I'm just going to stop this so it's not distracting. So the whole thing is caused by the wizard touching the ghost, which starts somewhere down here. Take damage. If touching current enemy. Now, if I go to variables and I look at current enemy, it says current enemy is ghost. So Scratch is now going to ask, hey, are you touching the sprite that's called the current value of current enemy, i.e. ghost? Are you touching ghost? And then it's going to check the sprite names. It's going to check whether the wizard is touching a sprite with the name ghost. But here's the key, and this is why it's not working. This test is case sensitive. So when Scratch goes to look whether or not you're touching ghost, it's going to go, are you touching something called small g h-o-s-t? And the answer is no, you're touching something large g h-o-s-t. And so that's a mismatch. And so Scratch isn't going to count that as a touch, because it's asking whether or not you're touching little ghost, but you're not touching little ghost, you're touching big ghost. So that's just a mistake, and we just need to fix that, and it's very easy to fix. You just go in there, and you just change that to little g. And as a general rule of thumb, it's a really good idea to always label things the same way, including uppercase, lowercase. So all over the place, I've been a bit sloppy. Like I said here, when I receive wizard with a small w, it's touching ghost, but here wizard's got a big W. Now that's not actually going to matter, because there's no time when Scratch tries to match the word wizard with this word here. It usually just matches this whole phrase with something being broadcast by another sprite. But nevertheless, you see my point. It's probably a good idea just to always kind of keep it the same form so that nothing like this ever goes wrong. So do what I say, not what I do. Learn from my mistakes. So I have capitalized wizard and I capitalized ghost, but I capitalized lightning, but then I stopped. I started writing everything in lowercase. And another error that I've made in terms of labeling is sometimes I've used this. It's called camel notation, where you don't have a space between words. You just have a big capital for the second word. And that's because in a lot of computer languages, you can't label things with more than one word. You have to use one word to label it. And so if you want to label it with multiple words, you've got to kind of smudge them together using some trick like this. And so I've got in the habit of doing that with other computer languages. But Scratch allows me to put spaces in. So here, I exploited that. I was like, oh, what fun. I could put a space in at last. Score units with a space. Score tens with a space. Well, then why did I do game over with a space? Now, I don't think this particular inconsistency in the way that I write things is actually going to have any repercussions. But it is bad practice, right? So I'm a naughty boy. I shouldn't do that. I should pick one way of labeling things and stick to it. And it kind of got me into a little bit of trouble there with the capitalization. Okay, now in the next video, we're going to go back to working on the bat. So just in anticipation of that, let's go back to level. Let's go back to start foe, and let's just change this back to bat. And so that when we start again, it should be the bat, and it is. Okay, great. That's all, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.